responsible. I'll put it that way. She seems to be a little bit more organized, right? So dad has already put you in a negative light, and your sister is shining over here like she's the biggest, brightest angel, right? What's wrong with this is a very common problem with ruleless people. And I'm going to define what that means. Ruleless people and dishonest people. And that is a lack of moral self-interest. A lack of moral self-interest. And it says a lot of research studies that's done on dishonest family members, dishonest people, highlights that when you don't have a moral self-image, you can very easily manipulate, lie, cheat, steal, deceive, hurt, and walk away like nothing ever happened. There's no physiological response of anxiety. There's no fear that you're going to get caught. There's no regret or guilt. There's nothing. It's basically a person who is emotionless when it comes to the rules and honesty that we should have as people in relationships and in family, right? So your dad, in this example, your dad would fit the description, the psychological description of having a lack of moral self-image. And this doesn't just happen over time. It starts at the beginning of time. So it starts genetically, and then it also starts in the relationship with the parent and the child. And then it continues throughout the lifespan if the environment is not a healthy environment. So dad, for example, has been an immoral individual from the start, and you can't trust him because he's not going to give you what you need. He's not going to give you what you're asking for, and he's not going to walk away with a sense of guilt. It's almost as if, and this is some research studies as well on these kind of individuals, it's almost as if their central nervous system is very different from ours. You know, the central nervous system consists of two components, the brain and the spinal cord. If you think about the brain, right, and the spinal cord, this is kind of what you get, the brain and the spinal cord, okay? Housed within the brain and the spinal cord is the central nervous system. And in that central nervous system, there's two systems. And that is the sympathetic and the parasympathetic system. The sympathetic system is really our fight or flight, okay, in a nutshell. The parasympathetic is what kicks in when a threat has gone, right, or it's disappeared, or it hasn't impacted us. So we can kind of feel calmer and more control when we are in the parasympathetic system.